Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Black Desert stream. My name is CM Shirna.
My name is Trent.
And hopefully the sound's okay. We're just setting some things back up. I had to quickly bounce out.
Yeah.
Right, so we have an update coming.
I like how you just kind of worked that in there right away. For those of you who are new to the stream, as always, we're going to do something where it's state of the address, patch notes, events. This time, not so much in terms of gameplay, and then Q&A. Obviously, we usually do more talking than we do gameplay. This time, there'll be more talking.
Even more talking.
Exactly. First things first, with state of the address, we're just going to jump right into it in terms of the levity of it all.
Yeah.
You want to start with it, or do you want me to?
All right, so crashing issues. As we said previously, when we added the memory optimizer function, that we're going to continue to work on it.
Wait. First off, for those of you who don't know, the memory optimizer was released as a patch last week.
As a patch last week,
and then
not during the update.
And then there was another patch to help fix with some of the issues that came with it.
Yeah.
That wasn't the end-all, be-all of all solutions, which is what we're going to be talking about today. But yeah.
So there will be more optimization coming in this update, and it is something that we're going to continuously work on. Trying to think what we can say. Right. Because of this, there will be no Valencia Conquest Wars / instance server, because it's been all hands on deck on alleviating the crashing issues. So the content of this update is relatively small, and there is work being done on reducing memory usage in a way that will give us breathing room once again to continue regular scheduling. So that, ripping that Band-Aid off, Valencia Conquest Wars with the instance server isn't going to be there. Now, when we worked on optimization before, we were looking purely at Node War and Conquest War, because that was where a majority of the crashes were, a majority of the performance issues. So we focused very heavily on getting things done in that little sphere right there, which is why the guild costumes come in, which is why the instance Conquest War is being planned to come out when it can. We've done things on character movement as well, and how that registers on your system and the servers. We've tried to do quite a few things, and there's still like more optimization to do there. However, the issue started to remove itself from that sphere of influence and spread elsewhere. So we've been looking at fixing that as the top priority. And although it's going to sound weird, where some of the memory is being saved, like translation data in the last patch, again with this patch and fonts, and there's a couple of other things. Basically, liken it to when you lose your keys at home, where you look in a couple of spots that you would normally put them first. We see crashes happen mostly in Node Wars. We were focusing on Node Wars. However, because it got wider, we started looking everywhere. We looked, under the kitchen sink. We looked in the fridge, because that's happened to me in the past. Basically started looking through everything and finding out, like, okay, there's a little bit of memory usage here that's a little bit too high. We can scale that back. So there's been quite a bit of optimization on the memory side, and there's more coming today.
Yeah. Is there anything else, or do you want me to go on from there?
You can go on from there.
Okay. So, as Shirna said, because the focus is going to be on optimization, because, this was an internal conversation as well as, feedback from everyone else, which was, focus on performance, because as long as we add new content, it's not going to be worked, it's not going to work in the sense of, optimization and in terms of memory stuff. So we're going to try devoting our resources to that and going from there. Yeah. Also, as we previously stated, that this is going to be something that we continue to focus on. And we also took feedback from last time's chat as well as the time before that, where it was we keep saying that we're working on performance, but we don't add it to the patch notes.
Yep.
So this time we're going to try and be a little bit more transparent with that. Obviously, we can't list up what specific coding and all that kind of stuff is going to be in there, but we will be listing what we worked on.
Yeah.
to help with that, and then continue to go on from there.
Okay. One of the other things that came up is the memory optimizer, which we did add in the last update. Some people were clowning on it, saying like it because we had to release a patch to stop crashing with it. However, when we were testing it, we had like a couple of hours of testing per person. Like, let's say we do, I don't know, let's pick a number, 100 hours, and we have 30 QA people. That's 300 hours. That's dwarfed in the first 10 minutes of launch, and everyone being everywhere else highlighted particular issues with the memory optimizer, where it would crash when there were, I think it was invisible things.
Yeah. In regards to people crashing when using the button, we've tried our best to kind of work on that as well. But, and I think this is more on us than anyone else. Not more on us, it is on us, in that we didn't explain how to use the memory optimizer properly. So what happens was that before going to RBF, after leaving RBF, you would use it. And I've explained to a few people and then on Discord slightly, but what you're trying to do is kind of forget certain things. But if those users are still all around you, you're not going to forget them, and then it kind of clashes a bit. So that was what the second patch was supposed to fix. This update, we're going to do some more stuff, but generally use it when there's when you leave a town before you enter a town and there's not as many people. In terms of populated areas.
So you use it when you're leaving areas. Also, I've been using it while grinding. If I get like a little spike, I'll use it just because it's quick and easy. But remember, you add it to your ring menu and use it whenever you feel is right, but try not to use it in highly densely populated areas. Use it outside of those areas. Because if you use it inside the towns, like let's say Calpheon or Velia even, it can cause some issues and slight hang-ups there. So use it when you leave the town, get out of the safe zone, and you're a little bit away from where everyone is going to be.
And before we go on to basically our patch notes and whatnot, there was a massive complaint for a long time when the memory options came out was that, why do I gotta do it? It should be automatic. That is something that we're working on right now. This is a temporary way to kind of alleviate the situation somewhat, but we are working on a way to make sure that it is automatic and active in certain situations and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's as sucky as it is. We needed to put it out as soon as possible to see how it functions. And with the issues that we already have, it was like, well, let's try something. And we tried the memory optimizer, and it is a manual function for now.
Does this have a close? I imagine you mean is the solution near? Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I think with a lot of the things that we're doing now in terms of how we're prioritizing everything, it's going to upset a lot of people, and it has. I can clearly see it. But this is a much needed thing to do. And I think even though this is it sucks that certain content is coming, like Valencia instances and stuff like that. Regardless, performance is more important. This is fact. This is something that we've been saying for quite some time. So we're going to go ahead with that.
Okay. I guess
let's jump into the patch notes.
Jump into the patch notes.
And then, so patch notes, events, slight gameplay, not really. And then we're going to go into the Q&A section of everything.
Yeah. So, as we said, nothing really big in this. There's a lot of more smaller quality of life things. So first off, you have quadruple the amount of time when looting a mole that appears on your farm during farming. The progression pass, we have changed the objective, which was defeat the awakened Sornil Siege Captain, which we didn't have the scrolls as readily as available as we thought we did. So we've changed that to obtain Beg's summon scroll from Special 1 confronting Beg, which is the daily Beg costume thing. So that's there. During Conquest Wars.
There was some confusion about this?
Yeah. So the rewards, and it confused us. It was the way it was written originally, and then we had to get for clarification. But basically, the scaling rewards only apply in the case of a tied territory. So if there are 2 guilds left at the end, the scaling rewards happen, which means the 250 mil chest that you get after 2 hours is only distributed in the event that it ends up in a tie.
Okay.
So that's that. Wait, that's right. What it is? Yeah. Okay, and the other one is if you die within a certain radius of your command post field HQ during Node and Conquest Wars, there will be no load screen. Again, I don't know how well this functions at the moment, but that is something that is potentially in. Remember, subject to change and all that good stuff. Was there anything else? Camera settings. Camera settings, we've made it so that you know where things are. And I guess, did I delete that off here?
Which one?
Okay, and the memory optimization stuff. So memory optimization has been carried out for duplicate data, text, and font, as well as some textures have been optimized on certain devices. But please make sure that you update your console's operating system to the latest version. If you do not, it may cause issues. So these texture things are coming in. That's another way that we've managed to alleviate some of the issues on our end. So check that out when it comes in. But please make sure your console, your PlayStation 5 or your Xbox or your PS4 or your Xbox Series X, whatever, is currently up to date. I know for a fact that Xbox doesn't allow you to play online if it's not up to date. I'm not sure about PlayStation, but make sure it's up to date. And there's a few knowledge changes. Crossroads, you'll be able to see if you have done it before. And that's about it.
Yeah, it's a smaller update this time around, in the sense of, content. But like we said, the priority is going to be mostly on. Kashman, you good? Priority is going to be mostly on trying to figure out ways to optimize the memory aspect of things. As Shirna said, for the OS of the system, needs to be updated to the latest one, because that is where some of the issues were happening as well. The error codes that we've been getting have been giving us dump files, but as I said in the past, it kind of is a catch-all error code, so we kind of have to look at the dump logs. And we have been, and I think we're closer to, I shouldn't say closer, but like I'll say in the sense of like where our priorities are, memory is the major focus right now. So yeah.
Go on then, events.
Okay. I'm just going to finish up with the events right away. Because, again, like this one, like Shirna said in terms of patches, this one's going to be slightly smaller. So with the events, let's start with that. So when you log in, there's a challenge reward to be able to collect a chandelier from your challenge rewards. It's mostly for your mansion content, and there are 4 of them to select from. Some people have already been making mansions, which has been kind of cool. I got to visit a couple of them. But this is just to help you spruce up your thing. The next update, or next event, sorry, is a Cuckoo Nest event. So during the event period, log into the game, get from your challenge window called the Cuckoo Nest, and then what you do with that is that you put it in a fence, you let it grow up, and you get a free cuckoo bird out of it.
Yep. And then if you want to return the fence, you can, or
Yeah.
you can start growing things like onions, peppers, hard to get cooking ingredients,
Yeah.
basically.
And the last event is something that a lot of our people who are doing life scouts have been asking for quite some time. During the event period, there's a 50% higher chance of obtaining mole's feed when you're harvesting or plant breeding in terms of your farms. What that does is help you get a mole to pop out. You pop the mole, and you get Dream Horse materials and fertile oil-rich soil.
Yeah. Which is for what?
Mana-related content.
Yeah.
But yes, the drop rate for the mole item, summoning item, will come out more, right? So these events are going to be a lot smaller, as well as the patch itself, because, yeah, oil is for a daily quest. A lot smaller to help with this kind of stuff. Now, that being said, what am I doing now?
I'm unsure as to what's occurring.
CautionWords just bounced. But all right. That is where we're at. Now, in terms of stutters and stuff like that, so we've been watching a lot of players, or we as in myself and Shirna specifically, have been talking to players in particular to see like when is the most optimal time to use a memory optimizer, because user data collates faster than ours. So when that data comes in, we're going to try and make sure that it goes automatic in certain situations.
Yeah.
That is still being developed, and we're going to keep saying it now, that is a priority, right?
Yeah.
That being said,
I'll go find out.
they're
what's
kind of
happening.
bouncing for a bit.
I'll go find out what's happening.
That's the only event. Yeah, the events aren't that hefty because, like we said, we were kind of focusing on that. Mole pet is what matters. Focus on the cuckoo first. Mole pet in the future. We'll see how it goes from there. That's the thing, right? So we knew that this was going to be hefty information to be able to take in. And like a lot of people on Twitch and on YouTube are saying the same thing, that yes, we're down for performance as long as performance is going to be worked on and if there is steady improvements. That is not on a user side, and that's on us. And we got to fulfill that promise. And then going with that.
No, we're going to have to
Focus on performance if the content cannot be played. Yeah, that's something that we have. It's been a common occurrence, and just trying to balance it out. So for a while, we've been trying to balance how we do content and performance. You've heard us say this on stream quite a few times. We're doing some performance things in the background, but we're still trying to get this content out. It's clearly not working. It just isn't. And even though that this will probably get me crucified for it, we can't be focusing on content right now. It has to be performance. The memory optimizer, when you press the button, it has crashed in certain situations, which we're trying to fix. And yeah. When are we getting a life scaling boss? Let me focus on that during the Q&A. Like the other questions, for now, I'm gonna try and focus on all the performance questions right now. Yeah, it just wasn't working initially. And there's not much more to say to that. Anything else that I say on top of that isn't gonna help, is it?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Why is there an okay? But it just wasn't. And it's not so much as like I'm admitting it as opposed to it's come to a head. It's not so much as that we're also hearing about performance for the first time. It's just that we had an ambitious goal. I shouldn't say ambitious. We had a very heavy goal of trying to do content and performance at the same time.
It's also...
It didn't work. No, well, it just didn't work.
Yeah, but also most of the performance issues before, as we mentioned, were in Conquest and Node Wars, which is where a lot of the focus was.
Yeah. And with it coming to, well, okay, we say it's the focus on Node War and Conquest War, right? That much I know. And a lot of people who have been doing that have also been saying the same thing. However, there are people that don't do that, and they've been experiencing crashes in Red Battlefield or in other things or in Velia. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, us saying that makes it seem like, well, we didn't know there was crashes elsewhere.
No, it was more like they were much lower in number. Like the majority of crashes were focused around those Node War times. According to the data we have, we're talking more than the last 2 months. Like we're talking historically before that as well. That is where a majority of the terminations happened. So that's what we were focusing on. However, things escalated outside of that zone. That time window that we had where, okay, this must be Node Wars. These people are crashing. We're going to investigate this. We're going to look to optimize this mode because this is where a lot of the crashes are. Things started to ramp up elsewhere, which is why we've shifted from that focus only on that area to more general focus because, yes, game terminations were happening in other areas, but they weren't as frequent before, let's say, August, September time, which is when things started to ramp up elsewhere.
Yeah. What would be ambitious about releasing content that's broken? It wasn't so much as the content itself that was ambitious. It was the fact that we were trying to do both things at once, which, like I would say, like with recency bias aside, within the last 2 months, prior to that we were doing all right, and even though it was like steadily creeping up, but we were kind of doing okay with it. Like I said, it's not working now, and that's not just recency bias. It's just not working, So the development plans for that have to change in terms of priorities.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said before, it's on us to kind of prove it. We haven't proved it properly, so yeah. The crashes mostly happen in load screens. You can tell because the load thing keeps jumping. Yes, this is something that was known. So one of the memory optimization things that we wanted to do was focusing around the way that you would enter a load screen and the way you would exit a load screen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was something we were working on, but because that wasn't able to be released in the last patch properly, right? Like right away. Oh no, it was. It was released in the first one where like it would clear on the load screens, but our game is too open worldy, so like you don't hit as many load screens intentionally, right? That's the problem. So we added the manual memory optimizer, but we're going to try and figure out a way to put it in specific points of place. So focus on server switch crashes and stuff like that, heavy resource and on. Yeah, PvP is also something that we have to focus on because like PvP crashes do happen a lot, but you're not wrong in the sense that like there's other people crashing, and there's other reasons for that. And memory is one of the things that needs to be focused on, but it is going to be focused on. Anything else?
I guess. I'm trying to contact Kashima. You reading my messages, bro?
Yeah, he is. Okay. The problem are big images or animated screens. Yes and no. I would say it's so far been determined no. But it's something worthy to look into again. After you die, you crash. I want to say in RBF. One of the problems in RBF, and we've seen this a lot, is that if you use the memory optimizer during RBF, you'll either crash immediately or you'll crash upon death.
Yeah.
Right? So that kind of messed it up. So we're trying to make sure that like the memory optimizer isn't used during that time, but because there's a manual function in it and users wouldn't know right away, it wouldn't really work.
Use it before you go into RBF, not during RBF.
Yeah. RBF, Node War, Conquest, you crash everywhere. Nah, yes and no. It depends on where it goes to in terms of like Shirna said in the patch notes of all the things that we've been trying to work on in terms of the memory side of things. That stuff is what I would say is more automatic on our end, and we are going to continue with that. The crashing randomly is also something that's memory-based, and that's, yeah.
Yeah, and again, like someone's pointed out on YouTube, I have barely any issues with crashing. That's...
While that is some people's experiences, we can tell you emphatically that people are crashing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So, I guess we should move on. Show a little bit of the gameplay.
What gameplay?
Just show a little bit of what's coming.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kashima, take me in. All right. So, here we are. First things first, the camera setting. If you hold the R button, it loads up like this, and you can now move around with the left stick here, and it'll tell you how far you're zoomed in. a nice 8% there on the bicep, and how far you are zoomed out. What was the other thing that was in? Progression pass. I'll just show this one as well. Where is it? It is here. So we've changed the defeat the awakened Sornel captain to the summon beg scroll. There was another one that I wanted to show. Where did it go?
Caution, switch to my screen for a sec.
Huh.
Thank you. So someone was saying, show it on PlayStation this time. We said in the past, the way that we have to push builds on a QA server is a little bit different based on platforms. But because our update is later today, and we're able to show PS5, because it's later today, we're streaming today, I can show you this stuff. So you were showing
the camera first.
All right. So if you hold down the camera, or the R3, that pops up, adjusting camera stuff. I have a lot of stuff on my screen right now because it's a new, fresh account and all that kind of stuff. You can pull it. Yeah. I'm already all... Oh, it has a percentage and all that kind of stuff, and you move around with the screen. This is more to help with users that were unaware of that. Because there's no key guide for it.
Also, relatively new users weren't sure what was happening if they held the button down. So this is a visual prompt to allow you to see that you've activated it instead of just eyeballing it.
I genuinely don't know how to play Valk. I've been trying. It's been tough.
I don't know why anyone would play Valk.
Well, so for people streaming on PS5 and becoming okay, done. For people who play Valk, I have an issue because I usually play Mystic where I'm continuously moving. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to do that with Valks in general.
You're supposed to?
Because I'm not good. What happens is that I use promptness and sometimes I don't keep an eye on the cooldowns and stuff, and I just start jumping.
Yeah.
And like it's just bad mojo, you know.
I've been playing Musa quite a bit lately for season characters, and it's very much the same thing.
Imagine playing Valk. I like Valk. I know I've made mistakes of like being like, you know what, Valk is terrible because I jumped in your bandwagon.
Look, man.
Because you were my boss and stuff, and I was just like, you know what, nah. I also can't time the circle skill. What's it for you, B? The circle skill in Awakening and then forward B properly. Poke people to death. Nah, give me more than that.
You sit in shield. All right, I'll tell you how to play Valkyrie, right? You sit
I'm not
in
listening
shield.
to you. Succession is the way to go for Valkyrie? Really? Do you think so?
No, I thought it was always Awakening on Valkyrie.
Awakening is more flashy. Succession does more damage with like Celestial Spears and Sword of Judgment.
Look, man.
Sword of Judgment is like boom, boom.
I'll tell you how to play Valkyrie. You sit in a shield, and you just sit there. You just sit there, and then you die. That's the only way to play
This
Valkyrie.
is what I do?
No, you're moving too much. Just leave it there. That's perfect.
I'm just, no. So the other thing is like, I was asking people in the office because some people play Valk in the office, and they're saying that you shouldn't skill animation shield throw or cancel skill animation on shield throw. Shield throw you should only be using to bait stuff. Like bait a CC out of it. But like, I don't know. I use Celestial Light and then I use, or any other skill. And then it just, animation cancels that. I don't know, I kind of like it. Am I wrong in this?
I mean, you know what my personal response to that is going to be. You're wrong in it because there's a...
Kuroto, I'm not saying that. That's terrible. You're terrible for saying that.
What?
You can't throw a shield if you're on two wheels.
All right, I get it.
I don't know enough.
Wait. Captain America threw a shield and he was riding a motorbike.
Those are automated, sir.
He was on two wheels.
Fair.
I mean, that's. I'm not gonna argue that.
I don't know enough. I asked. I've been trying to find a skin Valkyrie. So like, Kel's, Technic, and all them, and just watching them play. Oh, is it you? Oh, Jesus.
Peace.
Oh my goodness. Boo. There's no appropriate place. Oh, I didn't reach any zones yet because I just made the account. That's the only way a Zerk can win. So,
Oh
toxic.
man, you have moved the toxicity from Valk into Zerk now? No, that doesn't work.
Ah, that's fine. I'm not a big fan of Zerks anyways.
It's time to play the No You Uno card. Come on, man. Come outside. Let's see what happens.
I like that you talk a lot of smack when I'm not on the Mystic.
Mate, I took smack on the Mystic yesterday.
And you got popped.
Once. Best of 3. Who won?
It was 1-1.
It was 2-1. Because
No,
I
it
beat you the first time and you were like, my pots aren't on. So
And
I
it
turned
wasn't,
my...
'cause
No,
I
it
put
was.
back on,
It
and
was.
I had my evasion
All
on.
right, guys. All right, I'm going to tell you this now. We were messing around yesterday on the game.
Uh-huh.
And we were PvPing his Mystic versus my Zerk. And he was like, yo, my pot's on. After I beat him the first time. So I was like, okay, I canceled my fairy.
Uh-huh.
However,
Wait. How did you beat me the first time?
I smacked you around.
You ran up on me when I was looking at the QA guy, is what happened.
Nah, that's a lie.
No, go on.
That's how I started it, but we did reset. Anyway, he was like, my pot's on. So I'm like, all right, I'll turn my fairy off. Let's have a go. And he beat me because I ran out of WP. And I was like, well, ain't much else I can do from here. Tried to restore it, couldn't, died. Then I found out that his fairy was actually on.
Because I turned
the
it
whole
on.
fight. No, you didn't. You didn't turn it on between the fights because I turned it off.
No, when
so that we could match.
No, when I went to go turn off evasion.
This is what a domestic looks like, people. How dare you?
You talk a lot of smack for someone who plays Zerk.
Disrespect, man.
You disrespecting yourself by playing that class. So, they're on a test server, so no one can fight them as well. True. When we do the streams, essentially what happens is it's not so much as it's not like global labs in that sense. What happens is the test server is basically what we send to the different platforms before we actually push it to you guys, right? This gets worked on. Really? An imp can beat you at this point. So like, when we work on these servers, it's more like the development playground of all things. So when we say like, we would never say that on the development playground we're not experiencing the lag and all that kind of stuff because it's a test playground. You know what I mean? So yeah. No, if you gotta go to sleep, go to sleep. Yeah, it's a dev kit. It's essentially a dev kit, but within a dev playground, as opposed to like a global labs playground.
People are noticing what I was doing. Anyway, yeah.
That's the only time you'd be able to do it.
Yo, meet me on live server. Meet me on live server. Your Mystic versus my Zerk.
Okay.
All right, cool. Cool. That's it. After this, guys, we're gonna have to go and work things out between the two of us. Because
what's to work out? You're just gonna be dead.
To your Mystic?
Yeah.
Mate, I could rock a full pen Naru Zerk and still beat you.
No, you can't.
Oh man.
No, you can't.
Dude.
You got like.
It's on.
What was the win that you had yesterday?
What do you mean? What was the win I had yesterday?
You were like what? X amount of health down. For mine, when I rotated you, I was at full.
That was one fight.
Yeah, and it was a straight up rotation.
Because I had no potions and you had potions.
That's a lot of excuses for someone who lost. I don't know, man.
I can't sit here and take this on. This is just too much. Why don't you respawn? Come fight me like a man.
On a fresh account that I don't know how to play a class on.
Yeah, fight me like a man.
All right, let's see what we can do.
To be fair, I'm cap-rest out.
Yeah, you were cap-rest out yesterday as well.
So was your Mystic.
No, it wasn't.
No, we cap-rest out your Mystic for Sikrak, yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Nah.
We'll go check that out on that other Xbox in a bit. Mystic is always underestimated. I mean, to be honest, Mystic's pretty good. With the slows and stuff, it hurts.
Yeah, I'm all right with Mystic.
Take him to BA and wail on him. I mean, why go to BA when I can just flag up here?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool, bro. I didn't know you were there.
What did I do? Oh, BSR rage.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Oh no, the knockdown. Come on, man. I thought you were fighting. Nah, it's fun time. Boop. Boop.
Oh.
You can't dodge. I Q buffed. To be fair, that was a bit mean. I shouldn't have Q buffed. There is a level disparity and a gear disparity. What's your
Yeah.
gear at? What's your gear at?
Oh, I'm penned out, but you're at 63.
Yeah, but that doesn't add too much. I don't think I even bothered with the passive. I didn't do the 63 passive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Why would I lie about that? Just
Because
like
you
you
lied about
lying.
everything else. What, like, dude?
Oh god, I'm gonna. That's it. Come on, man. What are you doing? I'll sit here. I'll put the controller down and I'll answer questions a little bit. All right. Kels, quit ruining my class. That's why I'm not playing Musa. Yeah. Get wrecked.
Yeah, I just kicked you.
Right. Oh, you and that black. Your escapes yesterday were on point.
Of course they were.
And you entered a safe zone to run away from me. I see how it is. I see how it is. Okay. Will maintenance help out at Guild Boss Crashes? So the intention is during this maintenance we are performing 3 or 4 different memory optimization things that are going to be going out. So hopefully it should help performance over the whole game instead of just in one particular area. So we'll see how that goes with this. Again, it's not over till it's over. It's going to be a continuous thing where we're going to work on the performance and optimization as we go along. I hope they make shield throw great again. I mean, Kels, come on, man. You got to understand that throwing your shields.
That was the thing. So I was gonna ask Kels as well, but like I haven't seen around in a bit. But like I said, I don't know how to play Valk. It's very evident.
I mean, I don't know how to play Zark, so it's fair.
Well, with Valk, like like I said, you can animation cancel a lot of the shield throws, but you're supposed to bait people with it. I don't know how to play this class. It's flashy though. I genuinely like it.
Dude, I just realized that I haven't even completed the warm-up quest yet. Like the intro quest, warm-up. That's how you know you're a pro. You got it shown up, but you haven't used it. Right, where are you? The hunt begins. Let's go.
Imp lover? When did that happen?
Oh, I see you. Screen looking. Let's go. Let's go.
What am I doing?
Whoop.
Oh, do you like not know how to fight fair?
Mate.
Is that like the only time you can win?
Fine, I'll just put the controller down. Let's see how it is. Okay, any new custom class profile picture or kill notifications? Again, sticks. A lot of things have been put on hold. Whether they come in or not, we don't know.
Full camera.
The what you call it? The kill notifications and custom profile pictures are something that we have asked for. Someone said grab memes. I mean, unlike others, I rarely use my grab. I don't hotkey my grab when I'm grinding. I only do it during PvP. I do it against you because I know how to do it. I just don't use it myself that much.
But you just said you use it.
I do, but I don't rely on it. That's the difference. People who rely on grabs to get kills, People who are based. I didn't need to grab you. I grabbed you because it's one of my weakest damaging skills, just to mess around. I don't rely on my grabs, man.
All right.
Telling you.
Okay.
This 15-second cooldown thing that was planned, that's on Global Labs. If you don't know, all grabs will have at least a 15-second cooldown. I ain't worried. Don't use them anyway. Okay.
The new camera angle system. No, the camera reset stuff. I don't believe it's fixed in this one, right?
The resetting stuff? No, it's not. There's
Yeah.
nothing going on with that in this update. But again, it's something that we have continuously asked for, and we'll ask for again. Yeah.
What if we already completed the Sonil Siege scroll already because they probably had one?
It should still be completed.
It should, if not.
Enjoy another Kafra stone.
Yeah, it might give you. No, it shouldn't. It
Shouldn't,
be,
but if it does, it'll still. If it still counts as
it should be completed. Yeah, it should be completed. The update is tonight.
Yeah, the update is in a few hours. Yeah, it's in a few hours.
Yeah.
Can we extend the drop rate of black magic crystals? No, I don't think so. Unfortunately not, no.
Doesn't grab on Zerk, but has this grab hotbar.
I don't on this one. And I don't on my my other one at home. My personal account. I don't hotkey Rock Smash and Cupstorm. Because I'd rather have Wailing Beast and my Rabams. While grinding. If I'm in PvP, I'll hotkey them and then forget they exist because my mind doesn't instantly think I need to hotkey in this situation. Why can't what was that about the growth pass? Baby Peel, that's what we're working on. That's why there's a lot of delays, not delays, but we're not putting out the Valencia Node Wars and Conquest Wars this update. We're going to continue to work on optimization. Can we bring being able to sell trash loot from a tent? I don't think that would be a balance issue because that would make it too much of an advantage compared to what it is already because that would be kind of rough.
Jesus Christ. I've spoken about this before. Transferring between consoles was never in the plans. That's not something that can happen. We've said this in the past. I believe that situation has not changed. I've said it multiple times. If that changes, there'll be an official notice, but yeah, no. I thought someone had already said that in chat, but all right. Yeah.
Can you repeat the events? The events are the Cuckoo Bird, which is you get a cuckoo. Someone has to repeat the events. It's a cuckoo bird. You plant a cuckoo nest, and then a cuckoo will magically appear. You harvest it, and then you get a pet. And the other one is the moles.
Yeah, the 50% item drop for the mole's feed that will allow you to get the mole. This happens in other games in terms of transfers and whatnot. How come we don't do it in ours? It's different in the sense that, and I won't just leave it at that because that's just a cop-out. When it comes to account transfers and stuff like that, that's specifically in terms of how partnerships within specific platforms are made. If that changes, we'll let you guys know. But that has been a no consistently, almost consistently. The agreements between platforms and developers are
all right.
specific.
Actually, King Anderson, why is it when I'm PvPing, I constantly receive an error message that says, please try again later. My character becomes uncontrollable. And then my character makes a loud repeating thump sound. The thump sound I have no idea about, but the please try again later thing in PvP most often appears when your character is CC'd, but your character gets up client side faster than you should. So there are some cases where you will be standing up even though you're knocked down. Like you'll get back up, but that get back up is too quick. So it comes up, please try again later, because server side, you're on the floor. Or server side, you are CC'd. So from what I know, it comes down from that. Where you're CC'd, you're technically CC'd, but somehow your character isn't CC'd on your screen. So you can't move because you are CC'd. If that makes sense. That's most where it comes up. The thump, thump, thump sound, no idea. That might be either the error notification popping up, which I think it would be, or the skills being used around you. That one I don't know. That one I'm not sure. But yeah.
Can you extend the BMC event since we aren't getting this much?
Unfortunately, no.
Are you not getting much?
Do we get the turkey event like PC? No, we don't. It has not been put in this time
No.
because optimization and performance is the main focus. And last year, if you remember, the turkey event did cause a lot of crashes on its own. So we're not putting it in this time round. It's the sound of the error message, yeah. I don't play with sound. So because of that, when anyone mentions anything with sound, I get very confused. Because I play with different apps open. I watch TV while I'm grinding. That kind of stuff.
There
Listen
are
to
logs that are missing.
podcasts.
There are logs indeed missing.
Nerf Striker. It's
Iros, yeah. It depends on. How do I say this? If you're on PlayStation, you'll probably notice that your PlayStation revs up like an airplane at certain times. Those are also factors that we're looking into. Because if it's overclocking your system, then that's memory related as well. But on Xbox, I would say it's the same thing. So on Xbox, again, certain areas. But that actually helps quite a bit on that. Where did it go? Why are small guilds left out of the rewards?
For the login and stuff like that?
Because small is 1 to 20, right?
Yeah. 1 to 30, I think. 30 is the limit.
Is it 30?
It's 30. 30. I think 30 is medium. 30 to 50 is medium. 50 to 70 is large, and anything higher than that, I think, is extra large.
Regardless, because of the way that small is classified in terms of like including the 1 to 5, essentially, that's pretty much it. So we can create more categories, I guess, right? But it would still do the same thing.
Okay.
You can take this one.
What one? I mean, if it's gonna happen, let it happen.
Yeah.
Kashima?
Where did it go? Christmas music will leave you insane. You're incorrect.
No, that's the only time of year I play with music on.
You're
I only
absolutely
play with music on during the Christmas period. Because the Christmas music is to die for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we just start on this?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Now, one more thing to actually talk about in this one, because it's one of our major issues at the moment. So, crash-related issues, myself and Shirna have been talking about for quite some time, on stream to you guys. But me and Shirna are not enough to talk about this at this point because these issues are quite severe. So, for today's stream, joining us are...
It's going to be Jessok and Mateus, who you guys wouldn't know before, but you'll probably know soon.
Jessonim will be speaking to you guys directly right now, and Mateus will be the one that's interpreting, I believe. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to step away for a second. You guys can jump in.
Kashima? Switch?
Oh.
Kashima? All right.
That's fine.
It's fine. Okay, cool.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Are we good with the sound?
Yeah. Kashima, why did you hide the chat?
Sorry,
Sound cut? Oh. Sorry. Guys, people in chat, is sound okay right now?
We want to make sure you guys hear what we're saying. I guess are we good
Sound
to go?
is okay. Yeah. Press the blue button. Press the blue button. 재성님, 좀 얘기할 수 있어요?
안녕하세요.
Can you guys hear 재성님?
Hello, 네.
Yeah, it should be good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out.
Okay. So hi guys. As Shirna said, my name is Matthew, and I'm from Black Desert Global Service Team, and I have a special guest with me today. Can you please introduce yourself?
여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 검은 사막을 개발하고 있는 게임 디자인 실장 장재석입니다.
So this is Mr. Chang Jae-suk, who is the head of our game design department at Black Desert. So can you tell us like what is the reason for your appearance at today's Black Desert console stream?
최근에 이 크래시 문제로 좀 많은 분들이 불편함을 겪고 계신데요. 일단 원활한 플레이 환경을 제공해 드리지 못해서 일단 죄송하다는 말씀 드리고 싶어서 나오게 됐습니다. 특히 지금 PS를 이용하시는 분들이 좀 많이 불편하실 것 같아요.
So we are here to let you know that we are aware of the performance issues, and we would like to apologize for the crash issues and for the for the performance state and play environment right now. Like we are aware that especially PlayStation users are facing quite severe issues at this moment.
이번 원인은 저희가 거점전과 점령전을 포함해서 좀 모험가 분들에게 더 많은 컨텐츠와 즐길 거리를 좀 제공해드리고 싶은 욕심에 컨텐츠 업데이트를 좀 강행했던 게 원인입니다. 원래는 이 최적화가 같이 병행이 되어 있었는데 이번에는 좀 빨리 선보여 드렸던 생각이 좀 앞섰던 것 같아요.
So the main reason for those issues is like we wanted to introduce like as much content as possible for you guys. That includes conquest and node wars in Medea territory, and usually we were making sure to for the optimization works go along with the content which is added to the game at given time. But seems like this time our plan to like introduce the content as quick as possible to you guys. Affected in the optimization work for that content not being enough for the amount of content which is added recently to the game.
저희 지금 검은 사막 스튜디오는 지금 이 최적화 문제를 해결하기 위해서 전부 이 작업에 지금 매진하고 있고 이 결과물은 아마 오늘 패치 이후에 일단 반영이 될 겁니다. 그리고 이 최적화 작업은 여기서 끝이 아니라 좀 여러분이 느끼시기에 좀 원활한 플레이가 가능한 선까지 계속 진행해 나가겠습니다.
We would like you to know that like our studio is fully focusing on working on performance issues on console right now, and you should be able to see the first effects of those works after today's patch. And obviously, like this patch is not the end of the works. Like we're gonna keep working on performance until the moment when all of you can be satisfied with the level of performance of Black Desert console.
그리고 올해 연말이죠. 이 많은 모험가 분들이 지금 기다리고 계신 신규 영지 오딜리타가 있는데 이 새로운 영지까지 좀 안정적으로 업데이트할 수 있도록 이 최적화 작업을 포함해서 좀 최대한 집중 많이 하겠습니다.
Yeah, also one thing we want to mention, like we know that as we announced, like we are planning on adding new territory, Odolita territory, by the end of the year. So we would like you to like to assure you guys that we will work hard to make sure this is added before the end of the year, along with all the performance works which the content requires.
그리고 마지막으로 저희 CM 셰리나와 트렌트님이 여러분이 주신 의견들 저에게 적극적으로 좀 얘기해주고 계시니까 저 두 분 믿고 앞으로도 계속 의견 주시면 저희 역시 적극적으로 반영할 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
And one more thing we'd like to mention, we know like we would like you to know that like all the feedback that you guys give to Trent and Shirna, they always make sure to give all this feedback and all those suggestions to Chesak here. So please keep trusting in them and give them all your feedback, all your suggestions, because they always make sure that all of those go to Chesak directly. So yeah, we will make sure to like look into all of them and introduce the game, make all the efforts to introduce them to the game.
그럼 저는 이만 빨리 개발을 하러 가보겠습니다.
Yeah.
다음에 또 이런 기회가 되면은 또 와서 자주 여러분과 좀 이야기할 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you guys. That would be it for us. It wasn't too long, but like I hope like the message that we had for you was delivered in some extent. We're gonna go back to work now, and like we hope like there's gonna be another chance for Chesaning to talk with you guys in the future. So that would be it for us. Thank you guys.
감사합니다.
I guess we can go back to Shirna and Trent now.
You really want to?
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want. Okay.
Stay there if you want.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
And now you're back to us.
Unfortunate. Can we change the thing back to what it was? Kashima? Right. Some people were thinking that was Kashima who did this. Kashima is technologically illiterate. I would not have a clue on how to do it.
Matthew is so handsome. Dude, I'm right here. Y'all are just tripping out just because I was gone for 5 minutes. What is... Y'all have betrayed me. Was hoping that they would answer some of our questions. Now, what that was like... How do I say this? So, in chat, there were comments already that were like, hey, the developers have left you out to dry. And Jesonim kind of saw that and was like, nah, dude, like, we don't want that on us, which I genuinely appreciate that. I genuinely appreciate him coming out to talk to everyone. Given that it's like live interpretations, it's still gonna be kind of tough. But yeah, I hope that kind of direct communication continues to happen. The fact that Jesonim was just like, you should keep trusting in us is I'll lie. You guys know who we are. So like I wouldn't trust anyone with our faces. But
Right.
yes.
That was kind of sprung on us, which is why it wasn't
Yeah.
particularly well set up in the studio. We would have had a wide camera lens and stuff like that. Maybe dramatic intro. Stone Cold's music coming in as soon as Jesok opens the door. Unfortunately, that was very impromptu, which is why we were a
yeah.
little bit more...
He always has this kind of like
On
trench
toes.
coat thing on, which makes him kind of looks like a boss. I didn't mean to do that with my comment. No, it's it was something that I think kind of weighed heavily on Jesonim's mind because like Jesonim speaking in Korean, and this is the thing with languages because like is English your first language? I don't mean this to be rude, but
100% yes.
right, English isn't my first language, and to speak to a community in what is not your first language is tough, especially if you need like an interpreter because you're just like, man, I don't know how this is gonna work out. And so that's why Matthias was here as well to help bridge that gap. Myself and Shirna could probably also interpret, but like, let's be real, like call a spade. I don't think you guys wanted to see us at that point. I think it's better to have us off camera and have them speak directly. So, yeah.
I mean, I will call him Matthew because that's what he wanted to be called in the stream for some reason.
Yeah,
But-
that's weird.
Yeah, we're not used to that. But he has a higher position than us.
Yeah.
So him translating for Jesok has more weight than us doing it.
Absolutely.
As well. So we have to be careful.
I think with it coming from myself and Shirna at times, especially with how you guys are here since the beginning of the stream, the way that the stream kind of opened up, it's pretty tough.
Also, I will say Matthew's first language isn't English either.
Yeah, Matthew's first language is in English. Neither is mine. Actually, a lot of us in the company.
Mine, yeah.
You are our native English speaker.
I am someone who unfortunately had the pleasure of growing up in Dudley in the UK, so it is my first language. However, when I speak it properly, nobody understands. So I get the interpretation issues because there are things that I have to do consciously with the way I speak to avoid being classed as a bumbling idiot.
Is Matthew French?
No.
Kashima is French.
Kashima
Kashima
is
was going
French.
to yell at me for not saying that. I'm just saying, you guys are asking a lot about Matthew questions when we're right here.
Man, the thirst is real out there.
I know. This makes me sad. I remember a time. I'm not going to finish that sentence. But yeah, so
West Midlands represent. Let's go. If I remember correctly, General Donnelly, aren't you from Coventry? I know there's a few people from Coventry as well that I've spoken to, so yeah.
It was
Give us-
Matthew's hair mostly.
Dude, his hair is always on point. I'll give him that. His hair has always been on point.
Look, we've already had a falling out earlier in the stream.
It's better than your hair. It's better than my hair as well. So. I mean, that's not hard.
Not as well. It's just better than your hair. It's very different.
For those who have followed Black Desert for a long while, I actually, back in 2018,
Yeah.
I worked with Matthew for the Arena of Arsha tournament for SEA.
Oh,
Back
yeah,
then.
that's true.
Yeah, I did.
I needed that from Jessica, in all honesty, and respect for getting on the screen. Yeah. So I'll kind of come on and say this, like, when it comes to things like we've done with grandiose presentations or like notices and stuff, Jesanim himself felt that like, dude, like he was always wanted to be on the stream and do a video with us and stuff like that. He made the roadmap video, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to do an actual thing with us, but because the circumstances around console are not so good right now, let's again spade a spade. Memory issues are massive. We couldn't just come out here and have fun with Jesanim. I think he wanted to come out here and just address directly on behalf of the console team, which includes us as CMs, GMs, and whatever other sides of things like that, and the development team. The console team is comprised of all of those things. Why didn't we get a Q&A with Jesanim? The reason is because he just kind of wanted to speak on it first, make his, apologize for the issues that we've been having, and then go from there.
I'll go on a bit more than that. Q&A takes a long time. It takes a while. It's something that you have to kind of pre-prepare. That guy just woke up this morning and went, I'll be on the stream, apparently.
Yeah.
So we didn't know until we started the stream, which is why it was a little rough at the start, because we weren't sure when he was going to come in. So the Q&A section, and again,
especially with our kind of eclectic Q&A style of like, there's a question, let's do it. There's a question, let's do it, and then have a conversation about it. Even for me, seeing that many questions in English all of a sudden and like translate 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 to 2 to 4 is weird for me. So yeah.
Also, one of the things that Matthew missed out in the translation is Jessak actually said he was going back to work on more development stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's going to go work
Yeah,
on more.
he said he'll go back
side.
to developing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going back to developing. So he said that in the Korean. However, Matthew just said we're going back to work, which is Like the guy is super busy, which was localized, but should have said
it was localized.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to replace my shrine to you? Yeah, if you want to fall into condemnation.
Inactive guild decks auto dropping soon. Something that has been played with a little bit. I think on labs, the idea was like you don't want inactive decks because it drains your guild silver. However, there was a decent kickback on the idea of upkeeps on Guild War. So it's something I'll bring up as part of that feedback when we get a chance to talk about it. Right now, most of the discussion regarding feedback in terms of game things with the people who are involved on that has been the reboots. And I just want to say I have been collecting all the trends, all the posts on Discord, within the threads, sometimes out of the threads. I've been collecting the forum posts as well. I've been collecting them, getting them translated, passing them forward to the development team. But one thing I do want to stress is that it's not just one group or one community that we're trying to get a hold of. We're trying to do every region with every player. So while some people at the super top are like, yo, I want this, and this, or this skill to do this, it's coming from the idea of it's my gameplay style. That's how I would do it. This skill is useless to me. And it's kind of rough to get into that because we do then look at the data and say like, well, that skill is kind of used quite often by general players. So if we remove that or merge that into something else, it's a little bit weird. So there's a lot of work being done. And if your specific request isn't in, it's not that it's bad. It's not that it's like we couldn't do it. It's that it was considered and like maybe it makes its way in somehow else. If that makes sense. Like it's under consideration. It has been talked about.
I'm not so sure if we can ever. How do I say this? For every feedback that we get, I don't know if we can ever release like commentary as to why this didn't make it in for whatever X amount of reasons. Because there's a lot.
It's mostly because like in terms of, think of it in scale. There's, let's say, I don't know, that's 3,000. That's about the amount of feedback I've been looking through. So let's say about 3,000 lines from you guys. There's one of us, 2 of us, 3 of us, 4 of us. again, we're looking at a lot of work to be able to do that, to translate it and then send it to who it needs to go to. Then they're getting those lines from the person who makes the main decisions, like the guy who's like, okay, this, that, the other. That's one guy then doing 3,000 lines on his own. Then it's up to us to retranslate it. Like in terms of scale, it's kind of, it funnels and then it would go back out. But the weight would still be there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll say this. Spamming your questions while not adding the channel is beyond moronic. No, because we have like the chat feed and we just try to pick out as many as we can. And once we get it, we get it. You don't have to add the channel. It's just looking into it. Potato mode has been discussed to death multiple times before, so that's why we're
Not
didn't mention
answering
it this
that
time.
one, yeah.
We've talked about it far too many
Yeah,
times.
and I'm going to say the blue screens and stuff like that, that was the main focus of everything we said before.
Yeah.
That was the main focus of everything Jessok said when he was here. We're working on it. We have optimization changes in this update that will help free up more of the memory, which from what we know is causing the crashes. So we've freed up more of that. We've worked through a lot of the stuff that you wouldn't expect to be draining memory, such as translation data and things like that. Like we've been looking everywhere we can to try and find more space that's available. And we have discovered some things that would have been left unchecked because who would have thought that the translation data would be doing what it's doing? So like we've refined that to make that more streamlined, and that's freed up some memory. Then we've adjusted textures, which has helped free up some other memory. It's a long process.
Pretty much.
So again, we're trying our hardest to make sure that the crashes stop happening.
Wait, who hasn't had crash issues? Us?
Literally, no. I think that guy's saying that he has never had a crash issue.
Oh. I mean, some people did, some people didn't. Why wouldn't Instant C just get added for an optimization update?
I can handle this because it's in something that I was doing the other day.
Okay.
Basically, whatever changes we make to the rest of the game right now, we want to make sure works in tandem with the separated server for Valencia. But also, don't forget, if we were going to do that, it was mostly for Conquest Wars, I believe, not Node Wars itself, which would add more map data, which would add more things that could potentially drain memory. So as our focus has been on this, we haven't had time this update to do it, and it's kind of getting pushed. So the idea is, even though it's going to help with optimization, it's going to help optimization in a very, I don't want to say niche because that sounds like too small, but it's a very specific instance it will help. We're looking to do more of the general gameplay more than just Node War Conquest War, because Node War Conquest War is what we were working on a lot before. Then we have to expand that scope. So to expand that scope, we've got to make sure that everything else is done here, and then make sure that works here when we do it. So we're just focusing everything onto the optimization.
Yeah.
I crash more playing and grinding on the Xbox Series X than AFK. Zero. I play on an Xbox Series X and I haven't crashed. So I need to, if you can, reach out to us. Let me know what your settings are. If you're playing in 4K, if you have certain things on or off. Because I've been playing a lot when we get into the office. So an hour before this stream starts up to lunch, which is about nowish. And I still haven't been able to force a crash on my end, even though I've been trying. So that includes Node Wars and stuff like that. Like I have been trying to force it to crash.
Yeah.
So if you can give me some more information on what settings you have, it would be really beneficial so I can do it at home as well.
This isn't to go at anyone in particular, but it's like maybe most of the crashes are in X, Y, and Z if we do this and this. That, the one regarding like storage, central marketplaces is one area. Some people, for example, we had a few makes it sound like this minor, but no, there were people who were crashing when I'm muted? Or do you mute me?
Your microphone's further away. It's also pointing to the floor.
What do you mean? It's right here. So, in any case,
Give me strength.
the various amount of crashes that are happening. So let's say if it's with specifically enhancements, or if it was with light scaling and stuff. When we say that we particularly haven't had it on our side, no, the dude was just trolling. So
I know,
when it comes to those kind of crashes and the general bug reports that kind of come in, that's what happens. So we're kind of looking into all aspects. So people telling us like in the central market, when I do X, Y, and Z, this is what happens. Sure,
And
that helps us.
I will say I try to repeat as much as possible. Whenever I get a report on Xbox, I report it and then do it myself like 30, 40 times to see if I can get it to do. For example, some people are getting the crash on Xbox when they open the chat window. And it's something I used to get a long time ago, and it just disappeared one day. I've talked about this before. It just stopped happening. And I reported it a lot while it was happening, had people come over, look at it, and then it just disappeared. So I'm not sure what happened. If there was something system-wise I was doing or something like that, but it did just stop happening. Because the on-screen keyboard, when it loads up, sometimes take a while. So maybe there was some optimization on the back end of that. I don't know. But yeah. Where's the coupon code?
That is true. Sorry, Kashma. It's I forgot to ask you to put it up. But let's go with that. Enter the coupon code for console. This is obviously going to be shared on Reddit as well. Thank you for those of you who do it. I don't mean that in a snarky way. Those of you who share it in World Chat and all that kind of stuff, thanks a bunch for this. This is to help you get Blackstone bundles, and because we're very depleted. So you don't get...
No. What we're saying is we still report it. We test it ourselves. We get someone to check it. We check the logs as well. We don't deny that crashes are happening. This whole stream has been us going, guys, crashes are happening. I don't get them. Some people out there don't get them. There are people on YouTube who are saying they're not getting them. But the fact of the matter is, it's happening. We know we're doing optimization towards that. We're working on stability and performance. The code seems too long. It's 16 characters,
That should be fine.
which is the amount needed.
That should be fine.
Someone said, what a miserable coupon. The reason we chose Blackstones, and I'm going to say this now, is because they are completely sold out with thousands of pre-orders. So as a way to help that, we're giving out the Blackstones on both of those.
Yeah,
which is
that
20.
looks right.
Wait. Because you haven't put how many are in the bundle, it makes it seem like you're only getting 5 of each.
Oh, the bundles.
The bundles are 5 stones, right?
Enter the coupon code and find out. Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, it's 5. It says you get 5 bundles, but it doesn't say how many are in the bundle. Right?
It's 5 per bundle.
5 per bundle,
Yeah.
and there's 5 bundles of each.
Yes.
So it's 25 of each. 5 times 5 is 25, right? My math isn't that bad.
No, it's not supposed to be problem solved. It's supposed to just kind of help you out a little bit.
Sir, it's 50 stones. It's 25 of each. Big brain plays.
25 of each is like, yeah, that kind of makes sense to me.
Someone's
Obviously,
like,
people want
okay,
more.
someone's asking about the magical shards and things like that. We have been putting events that have been aimed at that. The clear fragments, the black magic crystal drops as well. However, Blackstones is one of those things that is needed for quite a lot more than magical shards. If you want to enhance your gear, if you're trying to do like anything with Blackstones, make hards and sharps into concentrateds, if you're trying to enhance your life skill gear, the drought on there is a lot more of a wide net than the narrow net that is magical shards. While we're aware of that and we are doing things towards the magical shards the drought, I will say. Again, black magic crystals are dropping. Valencia
Yeah.
does drop quite a few.
Okay, 2 things. One, Hailfire, yes, you can. If you include that kind of information into your ticket, that'd be good. But, like, it's not absolutely necessary. It's one of those things that we know because we can test ourselves on that end. When it comes to, like, certain, like, the PS4 revving up, it's pretty consistent on certain parts, and sometimes it isn't. And in the cases where it isn't consistent, that's the information we would need. The other thing is, I kind of agree with Serene, is like, market's been oversaturated for quite some time with certain things, and then as soon as there's like a slight demand, people are like, give us more. Mm-hmm. I hate that, me personally, but yeah, we talk about it, and if people feel like we should be able to give it, then sure.
I kind of want to go back like
For me,
a year and a half ago
yeah.
when it was like, guys, we have too many Blackstones on the market. Stop giving out
Blackstones, memory fragments, shards, crystals, whatever the case may be. As soon as people don't have it, it kind of changed, right?
Yeah.
Now, in certain cases, it doesn't. Like, we do need help with it. There's no question. In certain cases, we do need it. In other cases, not so much, because people don't want a life skill to get certain ones. So, yeah. The issue is PA causes demands, not the player base. I agree. We release content in which you require these things. However, there are methods to get these things. That's my personal opinion. I've said it. Not many people have agreed with me, so y'all are fine. But that's my own personal opinion. It's not that people don't want. No, it definitely is. Right? It is and it isn't, but yeah. There's no reason to life skill when mats are handed off for free. That's my opinion, but there are people who strongly disagree with that. We create issues but don't supply us with solutions. I mean, solutions are there. It's also, I think a lot of people will want to, and I kind of get it because I'm like this with other games as well. When something drops, I want to get it right away and do it as fast as I can instead of like doing it over time. But
And a lot of the stuff that requires the magical shards are designed to be done over time.
yeah, in a very short period of time as well. Yeah.
It's also, I don't know if it's the reason, but like with Valencia getting the buff, you get a lot more black magic crystals at Valencia, for example. So like, I don't know if they're connected in terms of like the way things were planned out, but more people are grinding Valencia now, which means there should, in theory, if people didn't want to use them themselves, there would be more black magic crystals.
It's also the way
But
that people kind of want.
It's also people hoarding things for themselves. Like
Yeah, I do
normally it would be people selling it. I don't need Blackstones anymore. I'm going to sell it. But right now it's like, well, I need my Blackstones. I'm not going to sell it. So even if you add like more ways to get it, it's not going to be added to the central market.
Hailfire, I did ask that before. And Rory, I'll get to you in a second. I've asked that before where like I should just be able to set it for as expensive as I want it to be on the central market. It's not going to happen. That's not
One of the issues with that, and it's something we've talked about in the past as well, is like, imagine if it was like that, and right now, black magic, let's say the stones, let's say weapon stones, go up to like 40 mil, and you're a new user, and you want to enhance your, let's say you want to enhance your Uria axe. I don't know. It's like, yeah.
For me, that's not the argument because I can make an argument another way.
Yeah.
But I kind of look at it from like the way I feel about real world stuff, where it's like if someone were to like straight up say, right, toilet paper industry, we're selling each roll at $1 mil.
That's price gouging, right?
Yeah, you're just gouging it, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people would have no choice but to find an alternative method because the price is too high.
Toilet paper is a little bit of one of those things where it's
If
like,
they were like each roll is going to cost you $3, $4,
yeah,
would you stop getting toilet paper?
yeah, obviously.
I ain't chilling with you.
I got a B-day, man. I'm a civilized human being.
That's what. Okay, sure, but a lot of people don't have B-days.
I know.
Right? Toilet paper is useless unless when I have a bathtub. Profit.
Wow,
Whoa.
profit.
No
Profit.
wipe gang. Hold on.
What?
Whoa.
What kind of animals watch this stream?
There is. Look, I don't want to be part of the no wipe gang. I'm not a part of that group.
What is going
I denounce them entirely. Use a sock. I'm flabbergasted by all of that. But what I'm saying is, like, we have brought that up in the past in terms of, like, can we remove limits on certain things? but it wouldn't work. Rory had a question that I wanted to get to, but let me find that. So handle another one if you want. Got it. Console versus PC player psychology. Are they taken into account in terms of events?
Yes.
Certain times, yes. In terms of like, how much can I say? In terms of like, let's say, playtime or,
Even wider than that. Anything
No.
that's not new content.
yeah,
Like
anything.
Halloween would be something that is designed generally, but
Yeah.
the other ones are more like console focused, right? Most of the time. Like we think about how console players.
Well,
would react
psychology
to
is
it.
such a broad net. That's why it's kind of tough for me to say. There are certain things where, like, I'll give this example. There are certain times when we develop the events, I want to take a look at. I'll remove Asia from the situation from now. When I look at just straight up EU and NA, just two regions. NA is a buyer's market,
Yeah.
right? EU is a seller's market. So when you make like an event that's like, here's all these items and stuff, they fluctuate very differently in the way that it happens. So you kind of have to be like, okay, well, what do we do from here in terms of playtime, in terms of the amount that we get, in terms of what we get, how long has the content that the event is for been released? And we don't want to go for it from like a PC release schedule because PC was out for quite some time with long content drops in between because new content took longer to create. Whereas for us, like we just kind of kept snapping, kept going, even though that wasn't fast enough for certain people. It's something that is considered, but it's like it's tough to balance in terms of seeing as like just looking at the central market. EU NA activates so differently. Asia's kind of in the middle, but Asia is more the Blackstone drought.
Yeah.
Asia's had it since like
Launch.
because they're an enhancement community.
So a lot of the events that were done early on were for other regions. It was like Blackstones, Hard, Sharps.
Yeah.
The reason for that was partially because Asia was having such a drought.
Yeah.
Like when everyone should be leveling up and gearing up during that like 0 to try phase, they had nothing on the market at all throughout. So like we tried to give more for that, and then it ended up giving more to everyone else. But
And then we looked at in the case of NA where when we released Ardonaut, the Dream Horse materials were very different. On Asia, they existed. That's the thing. They continued to exist after Ardonaut was launched. EU and NA dropped. So we created an event where like you can get these things and other methods to be able to get these kind of things. So you kind of have to look at all those different things. It's pretty rough, but it's interesting in terms of creating those things. And that, you're right, that's just looking at the central market. There's other, I wouldn't call it psychology, I would just say variables. There are other variables that we have to look at to be able to go from there.
World Boss Garmoth when? Again, content is kind of pushed back a little bit now. Pity Compass, probably not going to happen. We can ask for it. The stuff about the Xbox 120 frames, if you put your Xbox in 120, like in that mode to allow for 120 frames, it will go up to 120 frames because of the way that the Xbox system handles backwards compatibility. It allows that.
So for those of you who are on Twitch, and I'll explain it for people on YouTube, there's a Korean user who said we need more crystals. So because you guys have talked for quite a while, and Jesanim was there, and the big guns were there. What if we got a magic crystal coupon? Fortunately not. However, I'll talk to the people who make events and see what we can do with it if we decide to do something with it. That's not a promise in terms of we are going to do it, but I will talk to people about it. Can you comment on whether or not next-gen client development is ongoing? All the notices will be on the website for that.
It was also mentioned during the last thing, a letter to the adventurers, right?
Oh,
That next gen was being worked on.
제희 형? 제희 형 아닌데. 제희님.
I haven't heard
저희
anything
형
about
아니죠?
PS5 crashes.
I like so in Korean it's like ask
No.
like your big buddy Jae. And it's like, dude, I adore Jae-nim,
But he's a nim.
He's a nim. He has an honorific. I can't go up to him and be like, bro.
Seven Riser, we're talking about crashes the game over. We're not focusing on Xbox or PlayStation. We're talking about everything because that's where the issues are. Like if you feel that we've been talking and focusing only on one platform and not the other, we discuss both because it's Black Desert as a game,
Yeah.
not as the Xbox version or the PlayStation version.
Yeah. When will we get caught up to outfits that PC has already?
Most of the historical ones we haven't released
Are out.
are out, or they've been kind of discontinued on the quiet.
Some of the newer ones people kind of want as well.
Yeah, the newer ones take time.
But yeah.
Why is the Ancients Black Spirits thing still in the reward? Because if you had dice left over, you would be able to do it.
Yep. I still have dice, that's why.
Oh, wait, it's actually removed in this next update.
Ooh, okay. Gotta take care of that
Might
soon.
have to put that in a notice.
Okay. Then stream on PlayStation for once. We did today.
We did today.
The reason why we gotta take the anger out of the voice.
Yeah.
So the reason why we didn't stream on PlayStation, if you weren't here in the last one, was that the way that we push the builds is different for platform, and it's just more like process. So because our stream is on the update day, we're able to have a QA build for PlayStation. That's how the dev kit works in that sense. And unfortunately, that's as much information I can give because otherwise, PlayStation will have their scopes out. But that's how that works. So today we were able to do it. If this was something, and I genuinely want to stream on a PlayStation. So if this is something that kind of appeases a lot of people, then maybe we have to consider doing streams on the update day. Yeah.
Which is something we're trying to get done.
Why am I getting timed out on Twitch for posting solutions? Don't know.
MooBot is probably triggering you.
It's either Moo or it's...
Yeah, Kashima's like, I did nothing, and Kashima's pretty much the only one right now. So it's probably you got nipped by MooBot for using excessive caps.
Chat mod. Yeah, MooBot. It's not Kashima. Kashima is a little bit more laid back. It's big. You guys used to, and we missed that. I agree. A little bit behind the scenes on it. I would say streaming on the update day because of all the things that go on
During the update day.
during the update day as a team. So, like, and I don't mean this with any hostility, but our responsibilities and Kashima's as well are not solely based on the stream. It really isn't. Kashima is more than a cameraman.
Or director, as he likes to be called.
And
Director.
we have a lot of things to do in preparing for the update and during the update and after. And so when we put the stream on top of it, because the stream is a monster in terms of gearing up for it, doing it, talking the way that we do in terms of like continuously speaking because of, as our Korean user pointed out on Twitch, like you guys talked for a very long time. And it's like, yeah, we've been doing this for 2 years. Like this.
Nearly 3.
Nearly 3, yeah. It'll be 3 in January.
Yeah.
And for that reason, it's tough. Our more than Twitter copy pasta chefs, I don't have control over Twitter. I have control over event descriptions, which I didn't do this time because the atmosphere was not in a place to do
Yeah,
it.
but you did come up with Commandeer a Chandelier, which is up there.
They don't know about the mole one.
They don't know about the Mole one.
They don't know about the mole
Wait,
one.
which one did you go for? Because we had a couple in the works. I'm not gonna spoil it.
The
That's the one, right? Yeah.
The mole one is...
the Mole one is up there.
in English. For other languages like French, German, Korean, Japanese notices, I don't mess with that, and they are better with it than I am.
Actually, could we talk a little bit about the responsibilities that we do?
Huh?
Like during the update day. So to just go through what the update day usually looks like. It's usually like making sure all the images are done, all the screenshots are collected, trimmed nicely, all in their 5 languages that we service, right? So that's one aspect. Then it's checking, double checking, triple checking, and still, unfortunately, leaving a lot of typos in for each language. Then it's like posting things up onto the website. It's like making sure that this is just us. This isn't including Kashima, who has to do a lot of the background work.
There's
Costa
a lot
as well.
that happens with it, yeah. But
Like for us, it's one of those things that we will help out on every other piece. So if, for example, Kashima is uploading things, we'll be helping to upload other things at the same time. So like, instead of just being focused on this area or this area, we try to help everyone out because it is a very busy time of the week.
is there a place in which we can simply get a copy for the gear that we have on PC, even if that means deleting our console account since you have all the... I don't know if that'd be possible. There's more that goes in with it. I've kind of explained this before, but there is more that goes into it than just the gear. There's a lot of different other variables that happen, and those variables are affected by other player interactions and the history of those player interactions. And that needs to be dealt with accordingly. So I don't know if that will ever be a thing, but I'll send it over, as we always have. But I doubt that that will be a thing.
I'm betting Kashima does the format. The dude couldn't even write Jesok Jang and Matthew in the thing below. You think he does formatting? Nah.
No, that was all Kashima.
It's you.
Formatting what?
The website.
The website?
Yeah.
No. Kashima can do it. He's awesome at it, actually.
Stop,
There's
man.
a
Stop,
lot of
man.
different things you can do.
We're trying to bring it down because
I-
C-Dot is here basically saying that Kashima is a god that walks among the mortals.
That's
Got to bring him down.
No, we can't because I need him to do a lot of things for us today.
I know.
There's a lot of favors I'm going to ask him today. But yes, there's a lot of... there's a lot of different things to do that. Dreamhorse Mat when? Dreamhorse Mat event
We just had
happened
one. No?
last week or last update or the update before that.
But because of Doom, everything's got sold out. But don't forget, there's still a lot of the blue ones, which if I could sell them to you,
Dreamhorse Mat
I
update,
would.
do the moles. If those moles pop out, just smack them around. Also, if you really want Dreamhorse mats specifically from your farms, there are surefire ways to do it. Yes, because I made a lot of money off of Ardonaut launching, which is great. There are surefire methods in the way to do so.
I tell you what, all those blue materials I had went into me accidentally tapping a Dream Horse.
There's for people who are life scaling, like there are ways to make a lot of money other than just Imperial turn-ins and stuff. Like there's a lot of money to be made easily too. Just feed a worker and then sell some of the stuff that they get for you. So yeah.
Let's not talk about it because someone came into Discord yesterday and was like, "Yo, I've been doing this and I've been making bank profit for next to no work." And I'm like, "Dude, you want to take that down?" Because there's certain things that people in the know can generate a decent amount of profit, which we're not going to talk about because it's up to you guys to find it what it is.
No, but
yeah, it's like
I hate that secret culture. So I'll say this much: when it comes to life scaling, and you know how you can send your workers to nodes.
yeah.
Right? There are certain nodes in which people don't want to send their workers there because it messes up their node empire and the way that they are making their meals and stuff. But they require an item that is...
It's 2 items, right?
There's quite a few, actually. But like deserty items. There are a lot of nodes in which there's items and people don't want to send their workers there. There's ways to make money through all that.
Yeah. The 4 Ataraxion weekly quests, the one for season and the one for the normal. We don't have the Elvia version, so you can't do that. So if you don't have a season character, you won't be able to do the season Ataraxion dungeons. You'll only be able to do the 2 quests at the moment.
I already got told to stop.
Yeah,
it.
Sub-Zero's like, "No, guys, stop."
Look, I'm just saying. I'll use a past event as an example, right? We had that beer event a while ago, remember?
Uh-huh.
Right? the beer event, people are like, you know what? I'm gonna sell my beer, and then they were like, well, beer's always sold out now. What do? I can't make my own beer, and I don't have enough beer left. So all I did was just farm special wheat, and then sold it at a premium.
Yeah.
You know, because like, I'm not trying to get to the people who are shopping at Walmart. I'm trying to get to Walmart. You know, I'm trying to supply Walmart, and I'm good to go. And it was dope.
The best thing is, like, why were you growing it at the time? You were trying to make your own beer, right? Or were you just leveling farming?
No. The reason why I was doing farming at that time was because a user said, how dare you not know anything about life skills, you
Right.
stupid CM pleb.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's on. And then I made millions off of farming at that time.
Right.
But he was right. I didn't know anything about farming. So, yeah.
We learned a lot that day, that month.
Yeah, because there was like a farming bug, and then I was like, I'm not sure about that UI. And he was like, you've never done farming? How can you call yourself a CM if you don't know that UI? I was like, oh, it's on now. And then the beer event happened, and I was like, oh, it's super on. Like, we made a lot of money out of it. What's this update about overall? I missed it. It's mostly memory fixes.
optimization, yeah.
Memory fixes and slight update. Slight changes, but mostly it's to kind of reshift our focuses towards performance as opposed to content, but that's on us to prove. And the events are similar in the sense that there are fewer, but one is Dreamhorse related, where you start smacking around moles, and you can get a free pet out of it, and a chandelier.
Yeah. Chandelier, dude, the mole
Wait,
one, the effort you went into for the mole typo, like the mole event, I appreciate it.
I worked really hard on that. It's been 9 months since I pre-ordered Garment's Heart on the exchange, but it isn't available. Like, you know.
No, it's so rare. If you get it, you're really gonna sell it.
Yeah, I don't know if people are gonna sell it. Unless it's like randos who are not gonna use it, which is perfectly fine too. If you're gonna sell it, you're gonna sell it. But yeah, because Isuhunto? Oh, Isuhunto, are you playing on Asia? I imagine you are, because if you're playing on Asia, there's a lot of pre-orders. There's a lot. I know that much for sure.
Put it on the Imperial auction, a Golmoth heart.
No. That'll be bad. I'll suggest it, but
Can we get a Black Gem Fragment event, 40k pre-orders? Didn't we just have one?
I know about the world boss argument. I know it's even rarer on console. I know.
KOC, class reworks are on the test server on PC. Any time frame on when we'll get them to roll out for console, or can we get a test server too? Unfortunately, the test server thing is not going to be possible with the way that we're currently set up. So that's out of the question. As for when it's coming, don't think we have an exact date, but it might be a little later than anticipated. Like, because we originally said it was going to be at the same time. It's going to be around the same time.
Are we wrong? No. I agree with you guys. I imagine that, but I would say the priority is higher on other things. But no, I wouldn't say that you're wrong. I agree with that.
Can we get a Vel is coming soon?
What was missing?
Vel cannot come soon. We are focusing on the performance and stabilization of the game as a whole. If we just decide to add Vel, then we had a whole cachet of new issues that could potentially come out. So we're pushing a lot of things to get this sorted.
Are you both looking forward to Coffee and Ball this year? This is going to sound really stupid. But I've said to other people in the recent weeks of crashes and stuff, I like the direction that console's going in terms of focusing on performance instead of content. That to me is my thing. I also want to know what's going to happen to Black Desert as an IP for sure. But in the case of console, I think I'm excited for, like how Jesognim just came on stream and just like, dude, this is what we're doing. This is what we're working on. That puts me at more ease than I would say like I don't know, what Nintendo Directs and stuff like that. Like that makes me happier. So if there's stuff that comes out for Black Desert as a whole, dope. I'm excited. But right now, I'm kind of gearing in on the performance stuff. Something coming out of the mouth of someone who hasn't watched Lord of the Rings. I have seen it.
You saw the Fellowship.
Stupid. And so, if you add memory fragments to the Medea loot table, would that be an issue?
Technically, they already are because you get the books and the scrolls and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. It's technically there are methods, but those scrolls are just cumbersome to get through. Which Jahinim has said they're thinking about stuff with it.
Well, it got done recently
Yeah.
on labs. No. Fellowship is an appetizer; it doesn't count. Who grinds media? I grind media when I need black spirit powder. I do.
Oh, fair.
I do 20 minutes in Abandoned Diamond, I'm good. Dude, the amount of black magic crystals you get there, not black magic crystals, the amount of magic crystals you get there to grind, it's cool. Are we going to get the scroll update soon? We don't know. Honestly, a lot of things are up in the air because the focus is on performance. Why isn't Twitch drops enabled for consoles?
Says someone on YouTube.
Says someone on YouTube, yeah.
Oh, all right. I don't know how I feel about that. And
Let us turn off guild missions we can't do because of guild size. You can punch up, right?
you can do it.
You can punch up, and
Yeah.
most of the time you can do most of them on your own.
You can do it if you believe in yourself.
The friends only BDO instance was talked about during the last bullet, something that's been on hold for a while, I think.
Secret
Like
chat?
work has been kind of going on. It's the my server thing.
Secret chat?
Secret chat?
Yeah. Do we have secret chats? We have a lot of secret chats, but I don't know where you're getting this information from. I'm not sure
We're
who
saying
you're
you
speaking
got
to.
the secret chat over there. Secret chat about what, man? We chat about a lot of crap.
And a lot of secrets.
A lot of secrets.
Kashima's not French.
Kashima doesn't like cheese.
Oh, us reading YouTube. Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
No, it's
we read YouTube and Twitch, that's why. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay.
We read both. Yeah.
Best way to make money is to earn it.
Sir, come on.
And
if he's a new user.
Best way to make money if you're a new user, legitimately, and I honestly mean this, do the storyline, do the main quest, get your gear up with the gold bars and all that kind of stuff, get yourself started. Once you're done up to, let's say, when you're getting ready to go to Valencia, try to gear yourself up so that or level yourself up so that you unlock Awakening and or Succession.
And cliff weapons.
Cliff weapons is another thing. But in terms of money, it really depends on the market itself. So you can use the central market and work on that, or you can, and you have to watch the central market. That's the thing that, for a lot of users, both new and veterans, don't really understand. You have to keep watching it. So you kind of have to game the market in that sense.
And it's not just like buying, it's not just buying and flipping, which is obviously the property crisis right now. Like, buying and flipping isn't the only thing you can do on the central market.
Some people try to enhance and then sell those weapons. Yes, you can send me a DM on Discord with a full depth solution. You can do those things. You can do. You can join a guild if you're geared enough to start doing Nord Wars and Conquest Wars and do guild missions. There are lots of avenues for getting silver. It depends on what you're using the silver for and what it means to be, like, best or fast for you. So, for example, like I have a very low leveled life skiller.
Yeah.
Right? My shy is like what, 50?
Yeah.
Something like that, right? But I'm not gonna be like, all right, well, I should go to the desert, get this and this with my shy. If I only have that character, I'm just gonna do life skilling because I have all the life skilling stuff for it. So you kind of have to map your stuff out.
Didn't you buy like a Tep Manos yesterday?
And I earned it, all right? So look, I had money. I don't appreciate being called out like this. Listen, I asked you, listen, should I go for a Logia thing or whatever? And you're like, no, why are you going to waste money on Logia? Just go for the Manos. And I was like, okay. And I got the Tet.
I didn't say not waste money on Logia. I was like, depending on what you're doing, it would probably be better. Because you were doing Gathering.
Yes.
And at that point, I was like, I wouldn't get Logia, like, at this point, blue or mana. And you were like, oh, look, there's a 10 Manos Butchering Knife right there. Bam!
Yeah, so like I just did it.
But then, as soon as you bought it, you went, wait, I was saving up for something.
I was saving up for actual gear because I don't really like skill that much. So I was like, wait, I got too carried away. I've never had that kind of money in a long time, you know? No, because yesterday there were 3 or 4 Tet Manos Butcher Knives on the market on NA.
So if you sold one, he's probably the owner.
I took it.
CM accounts hit different? No, they do not.
They do not.
They do not.
They're even worse. Someone was saying, like, in speaking about guild missions, they need to be more profitable. I agree, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't probably be doing them, especially with the event that we had.
It's also not just the profit of yourself.
Yeah.
The guild can distribute the funds as well. Like, if they do the payouts, then the money's better. Like, the individual reward for the guild thing, I personally think is a little bit overtuned because it draws out of the money that the guild gets. But, sorry. Yeah.
Go Lion Gather.
I told you.
I just said my Shy's at level 50. I barely handle wolves. When there was a Shy that flagged up because I was in his wolf rotation. I was like, no, I'm bouncing. I'm not messing with you. That's not okay. He looked dangerous.
Large guilds can't do small boss subjugation, but it still shows now that I have to ask about.
Someone said you shouldn't. Why'd you buy a Tet Manos when you get one from the progression pass? You get one, so I can get something else. And work on that.
Wait, how hard do you have to go for that?
You just got to complete 25.
25 of
So
the...
all of them. The progression pass is not hard. It's not hard.
Dude, how on earth am I going to make a Kafra stone?
Large guilds can't do small guild missions. I see what you mean. Okay.
Oh no, how am I going to get apples with my bare hands?
It's difficult, man.
That I don't have a Y button on my controller.
Like, the progression pass is quite easy.
Especially the gathering one.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't done any of those ones yet. Yeah, I have done none of them.
You know what makes me sad? I can't even justify it. None of these require a butcher's knife. Like, none of these. This doesn't justify anything that I've done so far. But it happened, all right? So I'm good. For the regions we do have, are the rich merchant ring pieces able to drop on consoles?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You can get it the old-fashioned way, which is through trading in Valencia, I believe, but yeah. Also, the two pieces that are available that don't require Odilita or Odilita, then yeah, you can get those 2 pieces, which is Padix and Sikrakia, right?
I wouldn't
Not Sikraya. I believe
yeah,
that's where you get those 2 pieces.
Dropping. I believe it's in the patch notes somewhere, in one of the older patch notes.
It's also, I made sure to get it confirmed.
Yeah.
Someone has asked me on Discord, and I've been like, yes, they drop. Can we get more of the Sea Monster guilds? Sea Monster guild missions. There was an issue with them before. Got to make sure they're not on walkabout, but maybe I didn't. Like, we'll talk about it. Is it Odilita or Odilita? Well, the thing is, I've always said Odilita, right? Always said Odilita. Yeah. And then I got shouted at.
By the Loca team?
By someone who was on the Loca team, yeah, and they were like, it's Odilita! And I'm like, why? That's not how it's spelled.
Well, she's also wrong.
Well, I mean, we say Dandelion instead of Dandelion.
Because it's Dandelion.
Because it's Dandelion, but you know, people out there, it is spelled Dandelion, so we can't be on both sides of the fence, you know.
No, because sometimes it's transliterated and other times it's not.
Yeah, but she was the one who wrote it.
She's still wrong.
It's not Dandelion, it's Dandelion. Told you, the Korean is Dandelion.
But that's why we always go with like Zarki
Cause
Dandy.
yeah, and it's
Cuddles.
Kazaka.
Do you call it cuddles? I call it cuddles.
I call it cuddles.
Yeah.
And then put her on his puddles.
Yeah. Yeah. Puddles, cuddles. Zarky,
I say
Dandy,
Dandelion.
Nuver. Nuver doesn't have. I call him Nuvi, but yeah.
Dan, no, it's not like
Dandel. Yeah.
Yeah, the Korean Dandelion. Thank you.
Oh. Yeah. Iso Hunter, thank you. I was like, yeah, I'm not.
But the Dandelion Knights spelt it exactly the same way as dandelion is spelt.
Who?
The order of Dandelion,
Mm?
it's the same.
Yeah, they're wrong.
No. They spelled Dandelion.
They're just bad people.
Oh,
They're just bad people. They didn't get an education. They didn't spell it right. They just. No. Dilly.
More pets is one of those things where it's like there are plans for the future of that. I believe it was talked about during the last bowl, but I'm not going to reiterate it because I can't fully remember. There are plans for things to happen. Not more pets out. I think it was. I can't remember, but they're aware that people want more pets or faster gathering, faster picking up, or whatever. Dandelion. Let's leave it. Season Sikrakia will be soon. Season Sikrakia is only if you have a season character, and season is still going right now, so you could roll up a season character unless you graduated.
Oh, Rose, I'll explain that one because that's actually something that we mentioned a really long time ago, and then we just never talked about it again. When it comes to something that's on the Pro Shop, there are two ways to do certain things. There's some things that are platform-sided, right, that have to go through a certain process, and there's other things that are, we say, like app-sided, essentially. The Pro Shop is app-sided. We can mess around with that pretty directly. When it comes to other contents of the game, that has to go through like a patch that goes through the platform certs and all that kind of stuff. That's the difference with it. I know it looks bad when there's issues with, crashes and lag and stuff, and then it's like, oh, by the way, the Pro Shop has not been updated really quickly, right? I know that looks bad, but the way that it's split in terms of how we change it, client versus server, yeah, that's pretty much it. But I know it looks bad, and like, I can't say more.
Basically, one's
I can't say that it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any character can go to season, can they? No, what?
Any character can go to season?
For season Sikrakia? I don't think so. Oh, actually, that's something I wanted to bring up. Thanks for reminding me. Right. One of the biggest quality of life changes you have ever heard in the history of quality of life changes happened and nobody knew. If you are on season, you're on season 2, on your season character, let's say, and you go to the disconnect menu and you switch a character, it will then ask you to switch server and do both at the same time.
Yes, that was a thing that happened.
When I discovered this, it wasn't in the patch notes. When I discovered this, at least I don't think it was, I might have wrote it and then had amnesia. I didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
We were all standing around as I was like, oh, I need to go. And then I was like, wait, that happened? It took me by surprise.
Oh, Iso Hunter and Hellfire. So it wasn't when PlayStation got added. Why do horses move slower in towns?
They have always moved slower in towns.
Even on Xbox.
Even on Xbox, because, I'm going to say this now, in the early days of development, when we were like, this is probably the first build, this is how it's going, we had an issue where horses would reach a town and they just fall through the map and die. So, we slowed them down to allow the rendering around the towns. And it worked. So horses are slowed down because both platforms, you hit a wall. Like, I'll tell you now, there was a point, if you remember the first Xbox beta, now this is not the second one, the very first one, there was that point in Heidel where you would run down the main street and you would hit a wall, and then everything after that would be plasticine. That would happen all the time in every town and city. So we implemented the slowdown so that the horses don't go too fast over the rendering speeds.
There are certain safe zones that you can use it, but can we actually adjust it so that you don't just slow down? Because, like, yeah, like in Bear,
At least take Bear out. Yeah.
more accuracy, those were not the good old days. Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say that.
The good old days. Chew, man, saying it was the good old days. I remember, oh God, what was it?
Everyone died to Red Nose.
Oh man, what a memory! That is a memory unlocked. Hard mode, red nose. Oh, I really wanted to keep that in. I really wanted to keep hard mode, red nose.
That was interesting. I wasn't even on the team at that time. And I remember you telling me about it. But yeah.
Someone put, remember beta? I don't even know what I had for breakfast.
Was that? No, I wasn't there for beta. I helped you with one of the streams at most.
You.
Oh, and I stayed for one of the beta days, yeah.
You did the second beta.
Second beta, yeah.
Because I don't think you were working here during the first beta. No, you weren't.
No, I was.
You
I
joined
just came.
shortly after I did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there, but when Xbox had their second beta, I was on mobile at that time.
Yeah. Profit man, you've got issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Deep Bamboo Hat event, for those of us who don't know, they appear randomly. Why no Thanksgiving event like last year? Again.
If you remember last year, if you did the turkey event last year and know of our current issues now, yes.
It caused a lot of crashes then when things weren't as bad as they are now. So if you put it in now, it's going to get even worse.
Because we're focusing on performance at the
So we're
point.
both, yeah. Play Pegasus, skip Barefoot, you know, get a Pegasus. No. Wait, the good old days of smooth performance at CM was up. If you think that the beta days were smooth, you must think we are running on butter right now.
I remember you telling me.
Rose tinted glasses are definitely a thing.
Yeah.
No, it was sub 30 everywhere. Even imps outside of the imp camp was sub 30, was 30-ish on every platform. Like on both Xbox on both Xboxes at the time. Nah, the original beta. Maybe the second beta was a little bit better, but the original beta was.
Secret season doesn't work as it should.
Are there any talks about area expansion, like up in the north of Port Rad and things like that? Was discussed a little bit, but we don't know when that's going to come out.
Christy, I agree. Last year compared to what we're having right now, definite difference there. I saw one. Where did that one go? I think this thought just wasn't finished.
I will say the game ran better last year than this
I
year. It was more stable.
Last year we deleted the monsters. There was the Thanos snapping.
Deleted
And-
the trees.
Yeah, and then there were a lot of things kind of freed up on that end. Not even just a few months ago, the performance was better. So, yeah. Like, I don't disagree with that at all. Anyways, I think we actually have to kind of call it because we're just kind of derping at this point.
Good, because I really need to go to the bathroom.
All right. We're going to call it
That's fair.
to take care of business. So, as much as the last few minutes have been a lot of fun, this has been a heavier stream in terms of like the content that we're talking about and the direction in which we're going in, with Jesani coming in and explaining stuff on his side. I can promise you that we're going to work on it. I can't promise results, but it's on us to show you those results. And we're going to go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah? Anything else you want to say?
Styx has been nice to me this week. Oh no, he's usually nice to me. He's mean to you. He's
Yeah.
being mean to you now. Honestly, guys, like the stability. I'm gonna say stability instead of performance overall, but the stability of the game and the crashes and stuff like that, things that we are looking into, we're going to get worked on. Things are happening. As I said, in this update, we have 3 or 4 different memory optimization things going in, and hopefully they help alleviate some of the issues, and we're continuing to work on it. It is the primary focus right now. Again, we are sorry that the Valencia Conquest Wars and the instance there didn't come out. Although it was promised, like, I'm sure if anyone says, like, this is terrible, why didn't they just do it? It's understandable why we didn't do it, right? Like, if you think that we should have put that over everything else, then okay. But yeah, we have made the difficult decision to prioritize the performance over everything else.
What would be better to ask? Just ask questions in Discord or to us directly. It doesn't matter. But with that, I think we're going to have to call it.
Yeah, we're going to have to call it.
Thank you, as always, for joining us on streams. We'll catch you on the...
That's my line.
I know. I know.
The cracks are forming here, man.
I'm
Gun,
working my way
you-
up to that 6'3" height, man. Trust me, I'm getting there.
You need a step ladder and then some.
True. Yeah.
Guys, you've already said it. Just finish it. Just take it away.
Thank you for joining us on this stream. As heavy as it was, we hope you guys join us next time when we, for the next stream that we do. Until then,
Adios.
bye.